in-house counsel plays a very, very important role in today's protection of the brands and IP and against counterfeiters. In fact, they are the main drivers. So legal department is no longer a department or a cost center where it spends money. Today, legal department also helps company to bring back money into the system by contributing to the bottom line growth of the company by eliminating counterfeits from the shelves and replacing with the original products to generate more sales. And that is where a particular brand earns trust also. The consumers are aware of the different actions that are taken in the market. The retailers know, the wholesalers know, and they get a lot of sort of motivation into selling a genuine product, which can be a difference with the companies who do not take such actions. That stands out. So first and foremost, certain key things that needs to be kept in mind is, first and foremost, you have to build your brand. You have to spend money, you have to spend time, and you have to have a strategy to have a global registration of your trademarks, your patents, your copyrights, your designs. You have to have a very, very good control of the molds that is there in the market through your 3Ps in your own factory, right? So you have to have the counts, you have to go on improving on that. If a mold or a design is redundant, it does not mean that you let it go. You have to have a complete mechanism how you destroy that mold, take off those designs, and also ensure that those designs are not used by somebody else. Many companies think that, well, one design is done, so let me not renew that design. Wrong approach. I would suggest go on renewing that design, go on renewing those labels, the device marks, to that extent that to have a control over that. Because if the counterfeiters get a sense that when the company has moved on to a new design, they try to copy the previous design. If you have the protection of that design, you can still take actions in the market through criminal raids or passing off and or trademark violations cases. Now, these have different implications globally. In different jurisdictions, there are different interpretations of law and different ways the police or the customs sort of monitor. Now, third-party watch services is very important. Who's applying? Is somebody trying to apply, getting registration illegally without your consent? So you have to keep a watch. There are a number of watch services who are there across and give their services globally. So you have to oppose marks. You have to keep a very strict vigilance on that. You have to also use agencies who can monitor products across the globe in different markets, key markets, but they will give you feedback that, well, I found this one. You can have the citing reports. You can take a pre-date report. You can analyze that and go into and do the actions there. Training is very important. Customs training, police training with police, different jurisdictions, different countries. For example, say UAE, Jordan, the CIS countries, African countries. They have regular training facilities. So the company has to be a part of that, show the original versus counterfeit presentations, awareness of the training of the customs authorities when the port of import is through the sea. So they'll get if the products are confiscated, half of the battle is won there. Plus, the police on the ground also take actions based on your recommendations. So there are different agencies who give you reports, give you informations, and that needs to be cascaded into actions. There can be budgetary constraints, but then you have to prioritize where should I take actions first. So you can have phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. That depends on the budget of the government. That's why I said in the outset that budget is very important. With the advent of social, I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. I was just going to ask, do such kind of training happens in India also?
Yes, so you can take a proactive approach. You can approach through different chambers like Bengal Chamber does it, FICCI does it, ASSOCHAM does it. There are different anti-counterfeit wings, of different chambers where you can be a participant. You can hold seminars. You can also invite police, customs, even Interpol does it. So I was one of the presenters in one of the meetings where Interpol was conducting with the for SARC region. So there are opportunities to do that, and that would also help. Many people do not register their trademarks with the customs. I think customs registration is very important for export purposes and import purposes, and regular touch with these authorities help for recall of your brands. So while investigating into a container or a shipment, they would know that this is at the top of their mind. I have to look for this products amongst other products, and they get and you can get information from them. You can also sort of monitor the social media or the e-commerce business. It's it's one of the main modes of marketing nowadays, or the sales through different e-commerce platforms. The e-commerce platforms have their own ways of handling counterfeits. So the brand owners can be a partner to such e-commerce platforms and help them in their journey towards controlling the counterfeits. And in your agreements, you can also have certain clauses where you can uh, take measures how to curb counterfeits, and the commerce platforms they have to have some sort of a uh, uh, obligation towards the brands to ensure that the right products are going to the consumers. So there are also watch services on e-commerce platforms also from agencies for people who try to sell or pass off counterfeit goods on this platform. So you can take them down also. And recently, one of such action was taken by Dabur in the Delhi High Court with the landmark litigation of Dabur versus Ashok Kumar. Justice Pratibha Singh's judgment has now become a landmark judgment, and others can come in and use that. So now, if somebody is trying to squat on the e-commerce platform or on the domain, different domains, impersonating to that being that of the brand owner, they can be taken down, including that the different domain owners are now duty bound to disclose the individual's details, not taking the escape route of confidential data. So they are bound to disclose all details, including the credit cards or debit cards or the mode of payment, how they registered themselves in the first place on such domains, and to take them down. So this is very important, and I think the industry as a whole can play a very important part going forward. So collaboration is very important to fight counterfeit together. There are different monitoring tools also, and there are different ways how to do it. There are certain trusted IP partners who can uh, uh, sort of help you, collaborate with you to see and go to that objective that you're wanting to derive uh, from. So there are a number of automated tools. There are tools. They do their market surveys. There are certain triggering points, certain triggering names, words which can come up, and so sitting in your office, you can get a load of information in today's dynamic world of information technology that can be used to sort of protect your marks. But for me, designs, labels, right from the inception of a product to the execution, legal can play a very important part, and where the in-house counsel can help the business to first understand, ascertain that what are the products in the market, what type of design is there in the market, who is doing what, and how I can be different, and that path can continue. So I would ideally want my product to be different from others, and from there on, I would to be a novel product, right from the designs perspective, right from the labeling perspective, from the color, and slowly build on that and make a name for my marks, which stands out in the industry and in the sort of shelf space. So counterfeiters will think twice before taking or attempting to copy, my products. So there is a lot of uh, integration with the R&D and the packaging team that happens in with the councils in-house. Um, So it is their duty to give information and to look at the product, what the R&D is trying to come across. There are NPDs which go on in the companies. That is new product development, and there the legal counsels can apply their legal acumen to understand if this is patentable, if this technology is unique, if is there something which I can protect, and that's how you go on protecting the product, and that helps from a patent perspective, from a design perspective, to stand out in the market and make your product. Apart from that, there are since most of the products they are aimed at used by consumers. Interactions with consumer is very important. You can have different dialogues with your consumers, what they think, what they feel. The pulse of the market is very important. So you can have consumer-based study or approach or feedback from the consumer, where they want, what they want. Different journals come out, different reportings come out in different platforms like LinkedIn and all. People do raids and all. So there are different pockets. But the more important is it should not be an impulsive action against counterfeiters. You have to understand the entire supply chain. So for me, a raid at a retail or a wholesale is not important. For me, a manufacturing site is important. For that, and to trace that, if I do need to do one or two odd raids in a marketplace, and we should not be afraid of jurisdictions. Wherever the problem is, we have to arrest it at the threshold. If we need to go and hit them at their own den, we have to do it, irrespective of countries, irrespective of any particular city or town. The in-house counsel, along with the police authorities, custom officials, and the different agencies and the sales force can take appropriate measures to combat counterfeits.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I just had a quick question in mind. Like recently, I've seen on Instagram that people sell the same product with lesser quantity. So they are not counterfeiting the product, but they will be selling, for example, the same product of Dabur in lesser quantity, in less price. So does it come under this, or like?
It's a very good question that you've asked. So the packaging norms are guided by the Packaging Commodity Rules of the Legal Metrology Act. So every company is duty bound to sell a particular product at a particular price and at a particular grammage or weightage, which is prescribed under the laws. If there is a violation, that would be that can be arrested by the sort of or checked, or there can be cases or there can be fines by the legal metrology officers if they find those. And even for food products under the FSSA also there are stringent rules to implement. So if such things happen and the companies get to know, we do take actions against them, and we inform the people out there to desist from doing such actions. Even to that extent, different influencers try to sort of make such attempts where we use the law firms to send cease and desist notices, and they often end up in pulling off their ads or such reels from the profiles.